What's up, heretics? My name is Taco for HaloHeretic, and let's make Warzone great again. My biggest complaint about Warzone is the repetitiveness of it all. At this point, most players know what boss will spawn, where they'll spawn on the map, and what time they will spawn. While this allows for strategic gameplay, I think 343 can make Warzone a whole different experience by simply randomizing bosses. And I'm not talking about simply randomizing the bosses they currently have like Pilot Dollarman, Commander Chocobo, Baron Shalom, and Warden Forever. I'm talking about throwing in bosses from every campaign, from every Halo game, and even the Halo novels. Since Warzone is part of the wargame simulation and it takes place on the UNSC Infinity, wouldn't the UNSC train Spartans to face every enemy, even the ones they've fought before? Here's my list of bosses 343 should include in Warzone. Number 1. Guilty Spark. Guilty Spark would be a fantastic boss to throw into Warzone. He's got a huge assortment of weapons, including several types of sentinel beams, and a force field projector that protects him, as well as pushing enemies and weapons away. He can also teleport around his spawn area, making him difficult to attack. Spark would also be able to summon sentinels that would help protect Spark and add additional difficulty. While this doesn't really have to be Guilty Spark, we could throw in Medican Bias or other installation monitors. I think Spark fits the bill because of his popularity within the series. Number 2, the Gravemind. Imagine fighting the Gravemind, something we as Halo players haven't really gotten to do in any of the Halo campaigns. Its main arsenal would be its assortment of tentacles that it would use to swat players from the battlefield. But these would be backed up with an endless spawning of Flood warriors. From the tiny infection forms to the massive hulking tank and stalker forms, the Gravemind would spawn these until its eventual defeat at the hands of the last guy who shoots it. Number 3, the Arbiter. While I know the Arbiter is currently in an alliance with the UNSC, that doesn't mean they wouldn't make a contingency plan if he would ever choose to go against them in the future. Fighting the Arbiter would be similar to fighting the current elites in Warzone, with the exception that he would go in and out of camo, would be holding the Prophet's Bane, and would surround himself with the most elite of his Sangheili warriors. I would suggest him to replace the lower tier bosses, but not one of the main ones, unless he was placed in some sort of vehicle like a Scarab. Oh my god, a Scarab! Number 4, a Scarab. This wasn't going to be in my original list until I was writing it, but holy shit, why haven't we seen a Scarab in a while? This would be an amazing fight in Warzone, and you would have to spawn bigger vehicles in order to kill it. The mechanics would work similar to the battle in the Halo 3 mission, The Covenant, where you'd have to shoot out the legs of the Scarab before shooting its butt, and eventually the energy core. The Scarab would of course have enemies controlling it, and would be boardable by flying to the top of it. Number 5, Blue Team, Fireteam Osiris, and Fireteam Majestic. This one goes along with the same idea as fighting the Arbiter. As a contingency plan, if Chief or any Spartan would go rogue, the UNSC would have a plan to deal with that type of situation. 3 Pelicans would drop in, unloading the 3 Spartan teams, and the 12-man Spartan teams would have to take out some of our favorite heroes. While I'm not sure how the community would react to killing the Master Chief, I think if Palmer was included in Fireteam Majestic, I don't think too many people would care about shooting her.
Ladies and other Spartans.
While this scenario would be a lot of fun for the community, it would also add some interesting lore to the Halo universe as to how the UNSC and Oni are reacting to what happens in the campaign of Halo 5. Number 6, the Didact. While the Didact's current fate is rather unknown, other than he was composed, I can still see the Didact as an amazing enemy to fight in Warzone. I could see him replacing the Warden, especially in maps like Battle of Noctis where the Warden spawns twice. The Didact has a huge assortment of weapons and abilities at his disposal, and he would spawn the old Forerunner enemies from Halo 4. As far as other minor enemies I'd like to see in Warzone, I'd like to fight known figures with canon like Tartarus, a Prophet in his anti-gravity chair, Ritus Van Dam and his missing jaw, and possibly a physical version of Cortana in some hybrid Forerunner and human armor. I think what 343 has is a great piece of first-person shooter fun, but it's missing that lore grab that a lot of players lust for. So what other characters would you like to fight in Warzone? Let us know in the comments down below. Catch you next time here on HaloHeretic.